Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, do we ever have an interesting piece of news on the front of censorship? YouTube has admitted that they take stuff down or block it anytime the federal government asks them to, just like this is communist China. And here's our Infowars.com story. Was the top story on Drudge. Now it's the second story. YouTube restricts video of engineer proving how useless TSA scanners are. Good job to Rob Dew. He's scheduled him for the nightly news tomorrow night, but I'm going to try to get him for the last 30 minutes today. I told the guys no guests the next few days because I wanted time to take calls and cover news, but I want to get this fellow on because he shows how it's all a fraud, and then the idea is, oh no, we're going to take your video down or block it because that'll show terrorists how to get on board. They've done different federal tests where in almost every case, fake bombs get on board because it's not meant to protect you from terrorists. When they make a woman drink her own breast milk or make a woman pump milk out in front of people or strip search a 95-year-old cancer patient in a wheelchair or grope your 1-year-old son or daughter, grabbing their genitals, it's about total power grab domination. Just like they're power grabbing TSA now in the colleges, TSA now in Dallas. You got the Army out at the Kite Festival directing people and searching and stuff. I mean, this is what America is. The government parasites are teaching you that we're the military, we're the police, we're the TSA, and the military and police are being taught as well. They're not bad people on average. They're being told to do this. And always given, oh, we're helping the school kids get off the buses. Oh, we're helping with the Jaws of Life. Oh, the Army wants to starflight people now. Oh, the Predator drone helped with some cattle thieves. Oh, there was a shooting. Armed Marines showed up in Alabama. Oh, there was a DWI checkpoint with armed Marines with heavy machine guns in the backs of their Humvees and Berettas on their sides. And they're going to search you. You pull up to Marines with the police, regular Marines. This is what it's all about. You go to your high school basketball game. The Army's there, the National Guard, your state guard. The Hello Kitty bag is searched. I have photos of children with little pink backpacks, one of them with Hello Kitty being searched. It's all about learn how to be a prisoner. You know, if you've never went to prison, I guess you didn't, as we've seen it in movies, though, where you pull up to the prison, and the assistant warden is there, and he's like, you are doing hard time now. Out of control behavior will not be tolerated. Line up, we're going to search you. And that's what it is. TSA's there to size you up and say, 5-year-old, come with me. Mommy, daddy, back off, national security. My boss is shipping narcotics. My bosses run child kidnapping rings. Devil government. I mean, this is it. This is devil government, period. Devil government. And it's just so insane to watch it unfolding. Meanwhile, speaking of devil government, we had David Icahn yesterday talking about government-run child kidnapping rings and rape rings. Oh, I'm afraid it's all over the news, but it's a minor footnote in New York. And she's recorded going, I run the cops, I run the judges, they're all in here raping the children. You know, she's in there supplying children to them. And Internal Affairs or Internal Corruption Unit went ahead and busted her. And I'll guarantee you that's a 5-year investigation. That's only allowed because she sounds like the tape, she was blackmailing people. And so she'll end up, falling and hitting her head or something like Benazir Bhutto, who got machine gun in front of everyone. But our news said she hit her head. It was on TV, her being machine gun. But to American media, she hit her head. So she'll hit her head like Breitbart or something. Or the D.C. madam, hung herself. Said she's being followed. They're after me, trying to hide documents. Dead, because police said so. It was just a suicide. And everything's fine. Government loves you. We've got that news. And we've got, McCain says, bomb and invade Syria and arm the rebels. That's all coming up because it's freedom. And we'll be right back on the other side. Craziness of reality. The fact that it's so much stranger and so much wilder than anything you could make up really gets to me sometimes. And I know it gets to you because those of us that know history, those of us that are concerned about our society and our current present position and our future, just sit back in amazement watching government announce, yeah, we're spying on everybody without warrants, and we're going to pull you over and download the contents of your cell phone, and we're going to search your house without warrants. That's now happening. And there's going to be Army and Marine Corps and TSA and National Guard checkpoints everywhere, and it's happening. I'm now getting confirmed reports of other military checkpoints in Austin. Where I live, I don't have to cover news in other parts of the country now. I can see children being searched by military and school buses unloading people and people being groped by the military right here where I live. This country is in so much trouble. The globalists know we're in a depression. They know they're about to bring us into a very deep depression, and they're undoubtedly going to stage fake terror attacks in this country and go after political opposition and start shutting down talk radio, free speech on the internet, everything. I mean, these are criminals that'll ship guns into Mexico and blame it on their political opposition. These are criminals that'll give tens of billions of dollars to big city crime machines. These are criminals that give tens of billions of dollars to energy companies that never even open an office. Some of them are just P.O. boxes for Obama to give them billions. Congress admits they insider trade. They get caught giving money to their own companies in some cases, and they say, we're allowed to do this. People ask, why isn't Congress going after Obama launching all these new wars without approval? Because Congress, by and large, is a bunch of knuckle-dragging criminals stealing as fast as they can. And as America is brought into the post-industrial age by design, that's what the establishment intends, is all the people inside the system getting scared as they see their own handiwork, robbing and stealing and thieving as fast as they can, grabbing everything not nailed down, and then using crowbars to pull up what is nailed down. Meanwhile, the citizens are buying millions of firearms a month. Firearms training is going on everywhere. Millions of people are taking tactical training every year. Almost everyone I know is building armored redoubts, moving out to the country. And we're in for the ride of our lives. You see, because I was there and so many others were there for decades warning what was coming, it's not going to be like the globalists thought it was. They're going ahead with their plan with the public, a large portion of it, 30% or more, who really know the full score and waking up faster every day. More people waking up. Now, you've got a large portion, around half or more, that are totally in la-la land, and you won't be able to reach them. But those people have never counted in history. Just because your neighbor's sucking their thumb and thinks you're weird because you know things politically, or I see cases of people being arrested because they'll be outside town and shoot a deer with a license, bring it into their suburb. It's on the edge of the country. Pull the deer up in their backyard, start gutting it, and animal welfare comes and arrests them. Because the neighbors are so domesticated, they think somebody butchering their own food is like evil. I've seen people at the boat dock before when I've gone out to the lake to go fishing. I've seen people getting off their boats going, ooh, what's he doing? What's that? When they walk by and some guy's got an electric knife cutting up catfish and stuff they've caught. I mean, you've got this cult of people that don't know where electricity comes from. They just think it comes out of a plug in the wall. The electric car people that will literally lecture you. Here in Austin, it's been confirmed the so-called environmentalists knock out the windows and slash the tires of vehicles at Zilker Park. If you go down to Zilker Park where they have the army guarding everybody, but nobody stops the sandal-wearing hippies. They're not really hippies. They're more like proto-trendy Nazis running around. And there's just glass all over the ground, every parking lot, just everywhere, glass everywhere, cars being keyed, tires being slashed. If you're driving an SUV, if you're driving a Hummer, I mean, they'll stab every tire. And they will lecture you about, you shouldn't be driving that. You need to get a hybrid or an electric car. And I'm like, moron. Do you understand it takes as much energy or more from fossil fuel, from gasoline, from oil, than it does from coal-powered plants or other systems? Do you understand that, moron? But they don't care. They don't care. They don't know it's all electric cars are all a boondoggle for certain key industries to rip people off. I'm now digressing. I always do this because I don't know which direction to go in. It's just completely overwhelming that you've got a giant army of domesticated idiots that think when you try to warn them politically about history and what's currently happening and what is now admitted, that the entire Bill of Rights and Constitution is being overthrown, giant tax increases on everybody except the ultra-rich being deployed, just abject poverty as a political tool to bring us to our knees, political arrest, political assassinations, emergency FEMA camps, all of it now admitted. All of this now admitted, and you try to talk to a trendy know-it-all yuppie or a liberal or a mainline Republican, and they giggle and they smirk and they think that as long as they giggle and smirk, they've won a debate or something. They don't get the fact you're warning them. It's like if there's a giant wildfire coming into town about to burn up neighborhoods on the edge of town, and there's smoke in the air and everything, and you run up and bang on your neighbor's door and say, listen, a fire's coming, and they go, oh, trying to be a conspiracy theorist. All I'm trying to do is warn people. And I'm staying here in this country, the epicenter of the good and the evil, where the battle's happening, to my own great risk, because I understand my forebears did this for the greater good of humanity, and I will go down with the ship. I've committed to do that. But ladies and gentlemen, it's all happening. It's all unfolding. It's more sickening and worse than I'd even thought it would be in its stages right now. The globalists are dispensing with any pretense now. Now, I want to start getting into the news here. Obviously, John McCain 2 weeks ago said, arm the rebels. Well, that's now been declassified that for a year, NATO, the U.S., Israel, and others have been arming the rebels. And who are they? They're al-Qaeda, they're Wahhabis, they're out of Saudi Arabia, the big dog on the block. And they have sworn to kill the Christians and kill the minority Muslim groups, the Shiite, and then there's some kind of groups of Muslims that are really just Zoroasters and some mystic groups. They're dead. They're dead. They'll be lined up and shot. They'll be raped. I mean that's what these groups do. And McCain, this monster who helped write the NDAA, who says censor the internet, this anti-Second Amendment piece of unmitigated trash, a ringer for Obama, gets up and says, arm the rebels. Now, remember, Hillary 6 months ago said, oh, we're not involved. We don't want to arm the rebels. No, they're busy telling you they're peaceful and they're being shot by Assad's forces. I'm not any fan of the son of the last dictator. But the fact is he brought stability. He's been working with the West. That just shows when you try to work with the West like Gaddafi did, it's over. And now al-Qaeda runs Libya. Muslim Brotherhood, al-Qaeda-Light runs Egypt. It's many times worse for the whole population. That was the plan. And they're going to wreck Syria, and they're going to try to start a civil war in Iran. And that's all the plan. Meanwhile, I've got to be lectured all day that I've got to give up all my rights and have the National Guard and the State Guard on the highways of Texas now. Oh, yes, the reports are pouring in. I mean, I don't have to go to Tennessee or California now to have regular Marine Corps out on highways 20 miles from base with machine guns searching people on top of their Humvees. This was in the news. People pull up, there's Marines with the police searching cars, looking for drunk drivers. I mean, it's illegal for the cops to be doing it. And I think of Arde Saveda laughing at me 4 months ago in studio going, Alex, there'll never be troops on the streets of Austin. It'd have to be the end of the world. Really? It is the end of the world. It's the end of the free republic.